I'm going to be interviewing a personal friend of mine that I go way back with back in high school, Mr. Mike Jaja.
How's everybody doing? It's a pleasure for you to have me. It's a pleasure for me to even be on this blog or even be considered to have this interview. So thank you very much, Kim.
You are the first person I thought of, personally. So, hey, first person I did ads for, first person I'm going to put on here. Why not?
Come on. That's pressure now. I got pressure, people.
Heck, I would love to be on your channel too. Why not?
Okay, we're going to make that happen. We're going to make that happen.
For sure, for sure. All right, so today we'll be talking about your Galleries by Jaja. Of course, the link is already on the ad. I will reshare the link for your ads, and I will share the link for the YouTube account on this one. So let's get the questions going for this.
All right.
How did you start doing photography? What was the first thing that popped in your mind saying, I want to do this?
Beautiful question, Kim. The first thing that enticed me to really want to pursue photography was when I realized how much fun I had doing it. I think that's a big importance in your life, having fun at anything you do. I started to have fun with the camera, with the lens, being able to be creative. That's what really drove me to want to continue to pursue it. It's not until I knew that, okay, I can possibly start a business out of this that I truly just, went for it. Okay, so to answer your question, what made me want to pursue it? The feeling photography gives me, first and foremost, and connecting with people. It's on another level that I can get deeper into.
When you started this, do you go only on a personal level or just like the professional level itself to connect with people?
When I first started?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, when I first started, it was not about the professionalism, the business aspect of it. And I think when you really first start, you have the most fun because it's not a care in the world of how you go about your business.
All right. I heard you have a dog there.
Yeah, there was a dog. Matter of fact. Let me see if this thing's going to pop up. Want to get in the camera. We got a Yorkie here. My woman's Yorkie.
You got one of those cute little dogs, don't you?
The star of the show. You're going to take my shine, though.
Nah, I think I'll compliment your shine.
All right. And can I say one thing?
Yes.
This is really, my days consist of constant distractions. It's the way of life, and I love it.
That's fine. That's how you know your day is going to go by faster. That's how you know it's going to go by faster, and that's how you know you're going to get things done.
All right, I'm going to let you lead.
All right, so we were talking about how you had started this on a professional level or with your connections with people. When you connect with them, do you do it only on a personal or just a professional level to make sure the moment is actually like instilled in that picture?
Oh, see, in order to even make sure you have a moment like that, you have to connect on a personal level. That's one of the main ingredients, I would say, personally, because you can't, as a photographer, get the best image out of your client if it's a stiff experience. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to go the way you want it. I learned through just wanting to get to know people, developing an actual relationship with anybody is the best way to go about it. So yes, on a personal level, developing that relationship is key.
What inspired you to start this? Like in general, from when it was way back to up till now, like how has your progress grown itself?
Oh, the progress. Oh my goodness. What inspired me? If I can tell a quick story, when I was younger, me and my sister who goes to San Francisco now, Joy Chitty, check her workout on Facebook. We used to take our father's camera when he went to work, I mean, we were like 5, 6, 7 years old. He used to go to work on the weekends. So we used to steal my dad's big, I want to say it's the RCA camera, and we would make videos, from music videos to homemade movies. So this is the time of the big VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
the thick bricks. So, we would record movies. I don't think he knows this until this day. Maybe my pops is watching this right now. But I don't think, we've never told him, but we used to always make music videos all the time. Every weekend, it was religious, but we had to be using the camera. We had to. So you got to understand, people, whatever you do at a younger age, ironically, it tends to pop up when you get older. So one of the most things I remember in high school, other than playing basketball, had to have been our senior day market video. And this was a big turning point for me, my senior year. This is the next year where you're going to go to college, right? So I was playing basketball as well. I had to stop due to a heart problem and a heart situation. So that was a sign for me that God was telling me I was going to have a different route in life. So it was hard, but it wasn't that difficult. Knowing with the faith that I have in the Lord, it wasn't that difficult to kind of move past it. So a lot of athletes ask me, man, how did you deal with that, man? How did you? I just knew that another opportunity was going to present itself. That's life, and that's just how it works. That's the game. So senior day, we get back to the topic. Senior day, the market day. What the students were asked to do was create an actual product and present a commercial, a video that was going to promote that product. So the day senior market day came, people would want to purchase your item. I've never had to do an amazing project like this before. But I knew, because my sister Joy Chitty, who's in San Francisco, always did videography, cinematography type of work. So I knew if I had to do a video, I was going to call on my sister, family. So I teamed up with a buddy of mine, Jeremy Ford, and a girl who I made just awesome, real awesome, Haley Stanford. We teamed up, shot this shoot with my sister. We took about a whole day to get it together. So we ended up having one of the best senior market day videos, and we actually marketed. We can leave the link actually if you want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen it yet. I've actually been wanting to see it since you told me about it.
What? Oh, mind blown. Please. Oh, so okay. So we're gonna leave that link after this video is done. And that was the pinnacle of just, wow, I can sell a product, I can market a product, but have a great time doing it. And so that really drove me to see what the potential in videography and photography could be for me. So throughout the years of going to college, I went to Texas Southern University. I majored in pharmacy before I left the program. I was doing photography work for, artists, designers, clothing designers, own company that I ran with a buddy of mine, Kenneth Stevenson. We ran a t-shirt company together. And we were doing that while going to school and working, full time. The creative aspect that I was involved in changed my life. I just knew that I wanted to always do something artistic. I knew I always wanted to do something creative. And I knew eventually when I got down to like my junior year, I knew specifically pharmacy was not going to be for me. I got like ADHD. I can't be behind, and no shots to pharmacy, but I can't be passionate about being behind a counter. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Being behind a counter, prescribing drugs, it just doesn't do nothing for me. That's still motivation. That's still affecting lives. But I knew for me, I can affect and change lives and help people in a different manner. So it was a bold decision. We'll talk about that in another question that I'm sure you're going to ask me about. So
Sure, I'm pretty sure. I mean, hey, I see that flare in your eyes. It's still going.
Thank you.
All right. So how did you become a photographer besides, having the inspiration from your sister and, seeing your market day, slowly developing it? into like a professional thing, like you wanted it to be an official job, not just, for you, but to show everybody that there's always that moment that's going to be instilled there as a memory.
Man, now what happened was the way I truly knew I wanted to do this. Like I said, I used to work 60 plus hours. I've always held two jobs, right? So I was working two jobs at the time, and at both Target and Best Buy, with offers of like promotion. I knew I wasn't going to be able to accept it or even want to accept any type of promotion because I knew the hours that I was already working, it would have to cut back from school, and I also have to cut back from my actual creative work. I knew that was not a route for me, for my life. Other people would say, "Oh, that's a great opportunity for you. Snatch it up." I knew for me personally, no, not at all. And it's not until I purchased, I wanted to take my photography to a new level. Okay. And we talked about this, and I know I have to tell the story because of our last interview, but I purchased a 70 to 200 millimeter lens. It's a L glass. For people who want to know about photography, when you see a lot of, especially Canon users, if you see them with a lens and it has a red ring around it, it's a premium lens. It's beautiful. It's going to capture some great photos for you. So me getting into the game, I knew, and doing research, I knew, man, if I can get my hands on this lens, it would change my photography. It would change the landscape. It would change the game for me. So I obsessively got on the computer, searched website after website, failed at finding the right price, Craigslist, and one day at around maybe 2-3 a.m. in the morning, I got probably my third coffee in my hand. I'm shaking. I'm on Craigslist, and I see that lens that would typically cost about $1,500 to $2,000. I seen it on sale for $500.
Wow.
So I'm sitting here looking at an opportunity that's been presented, and I knew I had to contact this gentleman. So right away, I get the phone number, get my cell phone out. I text the man, and I get some sleep, maybe 2, 3, probably 4 hours of sleep. Wake up, the guy hits me back. We meet at a Fry's Electronics, probably the fastest transaction I've ever did. Anything. We meet at a Fry's over there on 59. If you're in Houston, over there about 59 in West Airport, we meet at Fry's. He gives me the lens. He tells me a little story about how it's changed his life and how he doesn't need it no more because he's that lens is just not for him right now. And I'm staring at this lens, Kim, and I'm looking up at the sky. I'm looking up at God. I'm like, I'm going to do some great things with this lens. I knew it. So what I used to do at that point, when I bought that lens, the very first thing I did, mounted it onto my Canon T4i, got my settings right, I shoot a manual, took that first clip outside. It was probably some trees, some branches. There was like a little bird just chirping away with the green leaves. And I get down on one knee. I composed the picture just perfectly. The minute I hit that shutter, the second I look at the lens, the third I see the image and the quality of it, the fourth feeling came to me was just emotions that I knew I made the right decision. That's the first act of knowing that I was going to do this full time, purchasing that lens.
Wow. That's such a great story.
Thank you.
That's always the story that everyone wants to hear when, they're just starting out. It's always one of those. If you knew back then what you could have done better now, what would it be? Like if you had known there was something you could do to make it better now, and you had just started, what would it be?
Perfect. Perfect. And I just told you a beautiful story about a lens that I knew I needed. If I knew what I know now, I would have known that I didn't need that lens. I would have known that I didn't need that lens. When I first started out, I thought it was about the most expensive, first of all, camera body. People got to understand, if you want, I'm going to tell you something about photography. There's the camera body itself, and then there's the actual lens. Those are two separate entities, right? And they do two separate things for you in your photography in general. I used to think specifically, Kim, that it was about getting the most expensive body, and I started to learn, okay, I didn't need the expensive body. So I knew I had to get an expensive lens. That's the first thing. So thinking about it in a second, the first idea that came to mind almost was, dang, I have to damn near go bankrupt to get the perfect lens so I can compete. Because if I would have known what I know now, when you're first starting out, don't try to compete with the guys who've been in the game for like 10, 15 years. Don't try to compete when you're first starting out. Just learn the process. So didn't need that lens. What I learned gradually was through studying photography obsessively, reading, and asking actual professionals. They would always tell me, just learn the ins and outs of your camera. Learn the ins and outs of your camera. You know, at first I'm like, what are you talking about? I need lens, man. I need a lens. No, learn how to actually take photography serious. Like, learn composition, learn lighting, learn how to actually, in any situation, learn how to use manual. If you know how to use manual on the DSLR, it will save your life. I didn't know that back then, but now I shoot manual. I know the camera ins and outs. I can get, with the camera I have, some of the best quality you'll ever see in comparison to some photographers who've been in the game for like 10, 15 years. What happened as I started reading, I started gaining that knowledge. And what happens when you gain knowledge, you gain power. And in power, I mean confidence. Confidence in yourself. So if I can talk to myself back in the day, I would have told that man at Fry's that was smiling, taking a picture of that birdie, that I would have tapped him on the shoulder and I would have said, put that lens back. You don't need it.
You mentioned that you would constantly be reading on how to get more of a confident phase on photography. How do you better educate yourself to be sure that, you don't just have the better quality of pictures and memories, but you instill the fact that the message you are trying to send is actually there?
Now, the way you do this is a key rule: communication. I've always been blessed in scenarios where I've gotten a chance to communicate with a diverse amount of people, whether it was back in A-Leaf, more so of an African-American community, and then transferring my 5th grade year to Sugarland, Fort Bend, going to Town West, Sugarland Middle School, and then Kempner High School. Just very diverse surroundings. So, I got a chance to really communicate because I talk to people. The only way you can practice communication is actually talking to people, failing at certain conversations, but talking to people. That's how you say it again, Kim.
That's always true. That's how you can get your message out there. But when you're taking pictures, there's always a message you put out there in every picture. How do you better educate yourself when you take a picture to make sure the message is still there, like instilled to stay permanently, so that when you look back at it, you still see that same message?
Okay, absolutely. Now, to finish that question, once again, like I said, communication. So I'm going to talk about portraits. So I'm talking about portraits and headshots. If you're taking those type of photos and there is a certain message you want to portray, communicate that with your client, communicate that with your friend, communicate that with the guest, whoever it is that you're taking a picture of. Communicate the idea of the imagery that you want to have. That will go a long way versus just letting them pose and just snapping away, snap, 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 click, click, click. No. Gradually talk to them and let them know. Because you'll be surprised, they might come up with an idea. Why don't we do such and such? it just makes life easy for you in all aspects. And not only communication, I would say also knowing what kind of sets the mood in a certain photo. You know, what sets that tonality, what sets that mood. It's going to be coloring. You know, it's going to be lighting. It's going to be facial expressions. It can also be texture. You know, it can also be the atmosphere. What time of the day? Is it cloudy? Is it musk? Is it, you know, what type of light are you using? Fluorescent light? It's all of those things combined that a photographer must think about to compose the perfect picture. Last but not least, to get the image across, you have to genuinely feel that emotion when you're taking the picture itself. I'm not going to take a picture. For me specifically, I don't know about other photographers. The reason I'm able to, I can literally take a photo and probably make a poem for
Mm-hmm.
every single photo I've taken. Why can I make a poem? Because every photo I take has a specific meaning to it. There's something I wanted to actually portray. But I last but not least, I felt that emotion initially. Okay. So on top of the knowledge you already have, it must come from the heart or your audience will not feel it. It just, they won't.
Now, have you ever, when you started doing this and you're, having other clients in, when you do your business with other clients, have you ever had your idea of first you have a whole vision of how you want it to be, and then, they would, when you tell it to them, they would add to it, or they would come up with something that would compromise to make it so much better?
Um, yeah, absolutely. I think we get that all the time as a photographer. You get that because you have an idea, and the other guest is going to have an idea. Generally, what happens when one or two, well, two or more, shall I say, or a group of people come together? Genuinely, there's a thing called a mastermind. There's a third brain that's working. So if you guys are in good vibes, that mastermind will pop up, and out of nowhere, you start accumulating ideas after ideas after. If you're not communicating and you cut it, you're nervous or something as a photographer, I don't know why you would be, but if you decide not to talk to your client or express what you want to get in the image, you cut that mastermind off because now y'all are not communicating. If I'm taking photos of you, Kim, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to discuss what's going to happen at the shoot, of course, prior to the shoot itself. Then on the shoot day, we're just going to go off of each other's vibes. We're going to communicate. I'm going to ask you, how are you feeling? You know, what do you think about such and such? Are you comfortable with it? Very soon, you're going to tell me what you're comfortable with. You're going to tell me some poses. You're going to start cultivating poses and ideas just because you feel comfortable in the situation. With me, when me and you do shoot, that's how it's going to go. And you're going to see that third mastermind process. You're going to have ideas, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be beautiful.
All right. So, when you do your shoots with your clients, have you ever had one of them say, "Oh, I don't know how to do specific poses," or would they just tell you, give me an idea of how you want it to be, and I'll see what I can do. Like, I'll go on a whim of how to do it in my own way to, see if they'll match your idea.
All the time. All the time. You know, getting behind the camera, first of all, it takes confidence. But when you do get behind the camera, you know, okay, now it's my opportunity. This is my moment. You know, I booked this shoot, or I asked the gentleman to shoot me for a reason. So they want to get the perfect pose. They want to ensure that what they're doing is correct. So yes, Kim, to answer that question, I get that all the time. To solve that issue or solve that problem, let them feel comfortable in front of the camera by just allowing them to, what I do personally, I allow them to play. Just do what feels natural to you, and I'm going to capture. Because the longer we stay in that process of you getting comfortable, then when we really start, when I start giving you a little bit of instructions to do this, do that, you're going to feel more confident and more comfortable in doing that. So yeah, it's not just one or two people. Almost everybody you shoot would like some creative direction, but it's never a bad thing.
All right, that sounds perfect. That's always like one of the experiences that I always wonder, like, if people actually have that, because when you see like when you like always see photographers doing shoots or other people just doing shoots in general, it's just like, oh, they don't really, like, they may not have the experience for it, but they're just flat out like already flexible enough to just do and go on a whim of what the photographer says to do. So it's always a wonder to me. That's why.
That was a beautiful question, by the way, though.
Thank you. Um, if you could travel, whenever you do travels, like, either out of town or out of state or whatever, when it comes to different countries, what would you take with you? Like, what all would you take with you and why?
Man, easy question. Easy. One thing I hate, man. Kim, let me tell you something. One thing I hate is to be tied down by a crap load of equipment. Equipment. I don't need that. This is what I need. I need my camera body, my 50 mm lens, right? 3 batteries and a charger. That's it. That's it. That's it. If my cell phone could capture what my camera did, I would probably only take this, especially traveling out of state or something like that. I wouldn't want to carry a lot of equipment. I would find a way to get the shots that I need with the minimal amount of equipment possible.
You're one of those rare photographers that I actually know that would rather use less equipment than more equipment, especially to get what they need just from natural lighting. Um, what does photography mean to you?
Whew. A image captured in the moment. A true image captured in the moment with all of the emotions. Everything you did until that point has led to that picture being taken. I don't care if it's a good one. I don't care if it's a bad one. I don't care if somebody caught you off guard. It's a weekend and you're out, you're throwing up on the toilet, and somebody took that picture. It's the capturing of that specific moment, and I cherish it. So to me, that's what it means. Whenever I'm in a shoot and I am blessed to take some beautiful photos, I think about life almost, because wow, everything that I've done until this point has led me to even be able to do this shoot, to be able to capture this moment, but not only for me, but for this person that I'm shooting. Because me, I shoot people. I shoot people. That's I'm in the business of shooting actual people. I specialize in portraits and headshots. So a picture symbolizes that specific moment, the beauty of it. What can we capture? What can we create? It's the moment. And we forget to think about the moment. We forget to be in the moment. Photography lets me be in the actual moment and remind myself. Other times, though, I get lost. I find myself thinking I'm not in the moment. I'm not in the moment. I'm thinking about what I want to do tomorrow, what I want to do next week. Photography allows me to be completely in the moment.
So if you're not behind the camera taking, shooting pictures for people, what do you do when you're either in front of the camera or not even behind the camera?
So without the camera being involved, I got like daily routines, waking up at 5 in the morning, then running a 5 mile run every morning, and then reading the Bible for about 30 minutes, and then everything else that I need to read. But those are like the 3 things in the morning. Getting that 5 mile run, it helps me think, it helps me create. It's a spiritual thing on top of that, but also health is very important. I figure that if I can run consistently 5 miles a day and have the mental capacity to do that consistently, the integrity, it'll allow me to continue to run my business. So it's something that it puts me to the test. Now it's almost muscle memory where I feel like, okay, I got to enhance that. So every now and then you'll see me running 10 to 15 miles. People are like, oh, that's crazy. But it's something that, okay, if I got a big task ahead of me, I know I got to push myself even further. So very soon, if I get like a huge task that's going to be asked of me, you might see me run like a 20-mile run just so I can be mentally prepared for that moment. It's not what everybody does. It's what I do. So maybe, if anybody who's watching this is going through something or is about to head into something, maybe a big job interview or a big moment or a big opportunity to be on stage with the bright lights, that's what every opportunity is really. Mentally, a big stage with bright lights that you get to perform. Do something prior to that is going to help motivate you. So that's what I do. off the camera. Other than that, I like things as far as basketball. I used to game. I gave up gaming for about a year now. Gaming and television, actually. I've given those up just to focus more. But I do enjoy now and then watching like manga series. Absolutely, manga is like, oh my gosh, I grew up watching manga. I'm learning actually right now, learning Chinese, and what else? That's what I do, and trying to live life and balance it better. You know.
I also remember that you do have a YouTube channel going on where you put out inspirational messages for, anybody who needs something. Because I remember I would actually watch it every now and then whenever you put them out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, indeed, that I do have another channel on YouTube. I have two channels actually. Galleries by Jaja would be one. That's my creative channel where I just create basic artistic type of videos. Then I have my speaking, which is Jaja's Mic. JaJasMike. Jaja's Mic. The way Jaja's Mic came about, real quick. First of all, my social security has Jaja, which is my middle name, on it. And it's messed me up throughout my college days of almost not getting a financial aid just because they didn't know. I didn't know. Jaja specifically was a name that I grew up hating because it was so weird. It was like, whoa. So I thought I would be made fun of. It's not until I went to college and started accepting the name. Back in the day, I used to work at McCormick and Smith in Papa Dough. And Papa Dough actually had Jaja as the first name. So everybody would call me Jaja because that's what rang up on the ticket. So I started becoming comfortable with the name. And as I started becoming comfortable, it's just the name. As I started becoming comfortable with the name Jaja, I started to have more confidence in myself. So it's funny how I even named Galleries by Jaja or Jaja's Mic. Jaja specifically, the fact that I'm even representing that name, which is my middle name, it really represents confidence in accepting yourself. So just to get deeper into what Jaja means for me, it's not only a name, but it's the fact that I've accepted that name. I've accepted myself, So that's why. So Jaja's Mic is my public speaking channel. I'm part of a group now called Sugar Speakers Toastmasters, and basically what it is, it's a public speaking committee where we speak and we get criticized, we get judged, what we can do better. It helps us, because eventually I want to talk in front of a stage. I want to talk in front of millions. I've gotten that vision. I see that happening because I want to motivate and I want to inspire. So Jaja's Mic, which is tune in every Monday at 6:30 a.m. You ain't got to get up. You don't have to get up, but just know it's going to be there at 6:30 a.m. And we're back on schedule now. So Jaja's Mic is a motivational channel made for people like you, individuals who need that extra motivation, that extra juice at the beginning of the week, which is so important. That Monday, we get that Monday. We had a good Saturday, Sunday. We get up in the morning. I don't feel like going to work no more. I don't feel like doing this. No, Jaja's Mic gives you that burst of motivation. When you watch it, I want you to be motivated. I want you to be inspired. I want you to go to work that Monday, be extraordinary, do backflips and knock out everything you need to get done for that week. Jaja's Mic, tune in, you will be motivated. And I'm a firm believer that your life will be changed. So thank you for even mentioning that for me.
I also noticed that on your website for Galleries by Jaja, there's going to be a blog on there that's coming soon.
Absolutely, Kim. Absolutely. What it's going to consist of is going to be basically just artistic type of photos. More so, I want to kind of stray away from the blog being about portraits and headshots. You're going to see that on my actual website. I want this to be my basically visual style of just everyday life. What I think about certain type of grungy environments. What I think about just a certain type of composition. It's not going to be any words, so I really have to portray a certain type of vibe through the actual images itself. So that's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be one I'm excited for you all to see.
I can't wait to see it. Always got the good stuff coming out first. You always manage to get the good stuff coming out, especially when it comes to being inspirational.
Thank you.
Everything's always going to be good. I see you becoming a legend, though. I'm humble. I'm not only just you, I envision it growing up, you know, eventually, and it will be passed down. I'm sure of that. It will be passed down because I predict that your future children will be like, I can't believe our dad used to do this.
Thank you, thank you. I'm humble. Let's just hope. Let's hope. You know, we just gotta take it one day at a time. You know.
Of course, of course. All right. Well, this is Q&A Blog 7 with an interview with Mike Jaja. I'd like to thank you for being in our interview and being the first person. We're sure to have more coming soon, and be sure to have you as one of our guests again next time whenever it comes around, and see how your progress grows.
Thank you so much for having me, Kim. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to be featured on you. Those of you who don't know, check out this blog. She is always posting. She is always updating, and I need you all to continue to support individuals like her who want to actually put people on the map. I love her blog. I love the stories. I love the insight. Continue to do this blog, Kim. It is exceptional. I'm flattered to be a part of it.
Going. It's never gonna stop. It's always gonna keep going. Actually, there's two other people that are on there actually doing this blog with me. So I always talk to one of them. You know, all three of us, we talk about something, and you know, we meet up every now and then. So when we do meet up, we're always talking about whatever ideas come up. And if not, we'll just, you know, out of nowhere, we'll just like put something out there. We won't even know who puts what unless we actually look at the website. So we always check, oh, who did this, who did that? All right, let's do this. Let's get this done, you know. That's how it is.
Raquel, if I could say one last thing for you. You know,
Sure.
If you all want to connect with anybody, I have an artistic brother who's in California right now, and he does art, specializes in art. He's even working on trying to do art for living rooms, like big pieces. So if you want to interview him, I'll give you his contact number. His name is Kenneth Stevenson. You will not be disappointed.
For sure. I mean, you know, send me his contact information whenever. I'll be sure to hit him up, and I'll be sure to tell him that you had referred me to him, especially for this blog. So I honestly just want to grow this out. You know how it is. Start out small, you slowly get bigger and bigger as it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you for having us on this interview today, and thank you for being on this show.
Kim, it's a pleasure. You take care and stay out of trouble tonight.
Of course, everybody's got to be safe.
All right, Kim.
All right.